If you haven't already, please also subscribe to us on Apple, Spreaker, and Spotify. Just type in Brawl Boxing and you'll find us there. Thank you.
Oh, and down he goes! Right hand, left hand! And I don't think he's going to get up! I think it's all over! I think it's over! Is he going to get up? Can he get up? Can he get up? He does! Oh my goodness! Somehow Fury has managed to get up!
Hello folks and welcome back to the Brawl Boxing Podcast, brought to you by the Brawl Network and powered by 92 Degrees and CBD Uplift. I'm Kieran McCourt and I'm joined by co-hosts Colin McGuigan and Ram McLaughlin. As always, guys, I just want to start by giving a shout out to one of our first sponsors, 92 Degrees. They're a coffee shop which started over in Liverpool and they're now expanding into various other cities such as Manchester and Leeds. So if you are in any of them cities, please get yourself there. The coffee's amazing and they've really helped us out coming on board. So thanks a million, lads.
Thanks, Laff McCourt. Another company that's made this all really work for us is CBD Uplift. So if you head over to cbduplift.co.uk, you can begin to uplift yourself today using code BRAWL20. So if you use code BRAWL20, you get free shipping and 20% off at checkout. Also, big thanks to Wow Hydrate. So they've came on board as well as a new sponsor, so you can push it and check out their deals on the website, and we'll have some giveaways coming up as well. So joining us this week from the Matchroom bubble is a very special guest, WBA bantamweight contender Ebanie Bridges, ahead of her fight against Shannon Courtenay. Ebanie, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Thanks for coming on. We'd actually planned on doing this in January, if you remember, or maybe a bit before that. But then we were sending someone down to you in Australia. So he's a friend of ours, Dan Reid, and he was like he was going to cover the people in Oz and New Zealand, that type of thing. So we were going to send him down to your gym. But then you actually said that he had bought some pictures of your feet or something online, wasn't it? So he was actually barred from your gym.
Yeah, the feet dude, man. Like I got some DMs and I was like, I'm not meeting up that guy. Like, I don't know about these feet guys, but I mean, I don't want to meet up with them. I mean, I'll give you my socks. I'll give you photos, but hey, don't come near me. So I was, I thought we'd wait for this.
On behalf of Brawl Boxing, we apologize to you, Ebanie, on behalf of Brawl Boxing.
Mate, and this guy, who are you sending? Who have you got on your team?
Well, we've just made it clear we've distanced ourselves.
Background.
We have officially distanced ourselves from Daniel Reid. Brawl Boxing and Daniel Reid are not associated at all anymore. So we just want to make that very clear.
Ebanie, we really appreciate you coming on here today. I just want to know how's life like in the bubble?
It's good, I'm fully set up. Like I got, I made sure that I had everything that I needed when I came in here. Because there's not much here, like you pretty much just get a kettle. So I went and I had my friend Susie, she's from Wales, she actually helped me. I got like a fridge, a microwave, a cooktop, my food, everything. So I'm set. Like I leave no stone unturned. I feel like I'm at home now. I've got like a mini little kitchen. Like, I'm prepped. I'm good. No complaints. I'm just blessed to be here. I love the experience, and I'm just loving it.
How are you finding all the extra media that's coming with this fight?
It's fine. It's just that, like, someone else is just obviously scheduling my days a little bit more, which is fine. Like, I don't mind media. I don't mind talking to people. For me, like, that's just who I am. So the media stuff's pretty cool. I'm embracing it. I did like I did media photos today. So I got to look all pretty and cute and do my hair. And so, like, I love this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like a hard ass walk around like grumpy. I got food. I eat 5 meals a day. Like, I'm happy. Fight week for me is not like a chore. It's not hard for me. I love every single bit of fighting.
Yeah.
Have you bumped into Eddie Hearn recently, Ebanie?
No, I haven't. I don't think he's in here yet.
Yeah, we need to get Tim on the Brawl Boxing podcast
If
as
I
well.
bump
So
into him, I
put a
might need
good
to
word
give
in.
him a little like.
Get him a nudge towards
body
us.
to the body. Like, oh, sorry, Ed.
So, Ebanie, how did you first get into boxing? Because you were like into bodybuilding and stuff before, weren't you?
How did I first get into boxing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, you know what? I started martial arts when I was 5. So, I started karate. My parents put me in karate when I was 5, and I dedicated 8 years to that, and I got my black belt in that. And being a little I was the only girl in my family besides my mom. Had 2 brothers, and mind you, they didn't stick to the martial arts. But I was always like into action, into fights, into fighting stuff. Like all the movies that I watched, everything. Then when I hit high school, I wanted to do something a bit more aggressive. So I started training in kickboxing and Muay Thai, as it's a bit more aggressive than karate. And then like it wasn't legal for women to fight in Australia back then, because it only became legal in 2008, and this is like this is like the end of the 90s and early 2000s. So what I was doing was I was doing ring card girl. I started doing the cards, and at all the boxing fights and the kickboxing fights and Thai boxing fights, because I was like, well, I want to be at the fights. I love the fights, I want to get in there. And it was good because I used to get paid mega money, flown all around Australia to be ringside to fights. And then, I just wanted to get into, obviously I wanted to do something competitive. I'm a competitive person. So that's why I went down into bodybuilding, because it was like, well, I can't fight, and I might as well do something that's competitive. And bodybuilding at the time was something that I saw as a really good challenge, like a really good fucking challenge. Like that shit's like out of that stuff, that bodybuilding, doing like nearly I competed for 8 years, but I was lifting for 10, and that dieting and stuff really prepared me for boxing. I think everything happens at the right time, and just that mindset that I got from the bodybuilding, in particular with my discipline and fatigue not being, no failure, no fatigue being an option, like all these things has all got me ready for boxing. So when I succeeded in everything in boxing, and I won, in bodybuilding, sorry, I won so many titles, like state, national, I went international comps, I placed 5th and 3rd in international comps. I just felt like I'd really achieved everything I wanted to, and that life for me I was done with it. Like all my 20s, I didn't go out, I didn't even really eat out, I didn't drink, I didn't do anything normal except eat out of plastic containers and cold broccoli and chicken, and you know what I mean, and go to the gym and just lift, and dedicate my life to that. And I thought, well, what can I do? What else can I do? Because I can't just like turn into a fat cunt on the fucking lounge. Sorry, but I can't be like whatever, fat guy. Like, what, can I say that?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. This show.
I don't want to sit on a lounge and get like fat and like content with life. I'm still young, you know what I mean? And I just was like, well, what do I like doing? Like I've always liked fighting, so I do that. And I was a boxing fan, from a very young age. I grew up on Costa Zoo, in Australia, who was like a legend to me. I even dated a guy that had a fucking Costa Zoo rat's tail. I was like, yeah, he's cool. Like, he's a fucking ratty.
Kieran actually has one.
I used to. I actually did used to.
Huh?
I know. I used to have a rat's tail when I was younger, but I was copying David Beckham had it for like a week.
But that's
and I
the
used to
one
just copy
down
his
here.
haircuts.
Yeah.
That's the lower one. Now this guy had the proper one, like Costa Zoo. Like,
yeah. They're much cooler than ones.
Man, that's like, they're real deal. Like that's legit. Like, but yeah. So like I said, I was into boxing. Anything combat sports. I like love Van Damme, and watching it when I was a kid. I used to go to the video shop, and I was like 10, and I'd be always getting like Van Damme stuff, and the guy would be like, oh, you like Van Damme, huh? I'm like, I like to see him bash people. Like I'm not, I'm 10 years old.
Yeah.
But so anyways, it just felt like it all fell into place. It was just the next step for me. I already had watched, being in boxing. I felt like with my background in martial arts, it wasn't something that I had to get used to. It wasn't like I just came in from the street and started doing some box exercises because I wanted to lose weight or get fit, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, I like, I feel this is fun. No, it was like I just want to bash people up because like I love fighting, and if I can do it that way, then yeah. Like I used to get into fights in school, and it was just something that just seemed really natural for me. Never had a problem with getting hit. Never had a problem punching people. I was like, when I did karate, I was like breaking boards when I was like 8 or 9. We used to have to do like plank holds on like your front 2 knuckles, and then break boards. You know what I mean? Like it was full hardcore. Like, so I was just always into that kind of stuff. Like you can see videos on my Instagram of me like punching brick walls, like, and doing all the hand conditioning stuff, because I still do a lot of the hand conditioning stuff from martial arts because I think it's really important. So yeah, that's my long ass story to why I got into boxing. It could have just been I just walked into the gym and thought, oh yeah, looks good. boys.
Ebony,
Yeah,
yeah. You've made like a career now in boxing, but obviously we'll touch on it later. But you are a Mavs teacher as well, for anyone that doesn't know that. But another side business you have, we touched on there with our friend Daniel Reid being caught out. For any listeners that don't really know the story, you know, you kind of like blew up maybe like 12 months ago whenever Daniel Reid actually told us all about this. He originally told us, he was like, there's this Australian fighter, she's selling her socks. He didn't say it bought any. We only worked out whenever you said.
Well, worked out when he.
Yeah.
No, well, when he got kicked out of his apartment because he couldn't pay rent anymore. So we knew all his money had gone.
They're £500. Like I sold my socks, my dirty gym socks for £500. I sold one pair for $2,500 to someone in Amsterdam. What was it? Not Amsterdam.
The Murray, Belfast.
No, the Netherlands.
That's madness.
That's mad.
Yeah. And I sold pictures of my socks, my dirty socks on the floor, like dirty laundry, just on the floor, not even on my feet, for like $100 to $150. And
so rumor is that you're in the bubble just to basically sell socks out of the for a cardboard sale.
Wait, no shit. I looked at my coach after my training session today. No shit. I looked at it and like, you know, my face mask. I was like, fuck, I could probably sell this face mask for like $2,000.
That's outrageous.
I was like,
mad. There's freaks like Dan Reid out there that do that.
Man, they would, 100% they would. I don't care. Easy money. No shame here. I don't care. Give me your money. Here's the shit. Fucking fuck off.
Easy enough, 100%. Ebony, like back to the boxing side of things, like from your like relatively short like pro.
Hey, do you guys want to buy my mask? I'll give you my straight.
We'll need to get onto the sponsors to fund that. But back to the like, because you've obviously had a short pro career so far, but like you've basically catapulted yourself onto the world scene of female boxing.
Yeah.
And how hard was it to get your name out there? Because we all know like you're a great self promoter. Was that hard for you originally, or did you always just
Not
find
at
it
all.
easy?
It wasn't hard at all because you know what? I was just being myself. I was just on Twitter having a banter. I being myself, or people wanted to get interviews with me, and I just have an interview. And like it was COVID mainly, like because I only just started Twitter like literally 12 months ago, and put a few pictures of my weigh-ins up to a bit of clickbait. You got to do it, and then that just got people a bit interested, like what the hell. And then people wanted to do interviews with me, and then I think that's just where it thrived because I was in COVID, and no one was doing nothing, everyone was bored, so I was just smashing out interviews, and I just be myself. As you can tell, guys, like I don't talk, I don't hold back. I keep it real. I don't put on no face. Like, I mean, obviously, if I'm having an interview with Sky or whatever, Fox Sport, I probably won't be saying like cunt this and fuck that. You know what I mean? But I mean, most of the time, I'm just being me because I don't care. Like, if you don't like me, I don't care. If you do, brilliant. And I just think that personality was able to get across, and people embrace that because there's so much fake in the world. Like, I know my chest is fake, but I mean like real fake people. You know what I mean? Like, that's okay. But I mean fake people, and I think that having that realness and being like that, people resonate, and they want that because they want to be like that. People want to be real, but they're so scared to be real because they get judged. You know what I mean? But I think it's so important to push that message that fuck it, who cares? Especially social media, you get slayed. You know what I mean? But you got to just be strong and build some resilience and just be like, you know what? Who cares? I'm me. I'm happy with who I am, and just be you. Like,
it's like Tyson Fury as well. Like that sort of media trained like angle of going away about promoting yourself. Nobody, like, everyone's bored of it. Nobody wants to see it because you see it with footballers, you see it with so many sports people, but with boxers, you feel like the more people are themselves, you feel that they get a bigger following a lot quicker.
Yeah, I mean, and it's easy just being myself. Imagine if I had to sit here and think like, oh, I better not say that, I better not do that. Like, it's hard. Like, I mean, I got to do that in the classroom. And that's like, when I leave the classroom, I mean, I'm still like banter and like have fun in the class. You couldn't imagine me being completely different. I'm not completely different, but I do hold certain words and certain banter, obviously. But I mean, like to change who I am, to be portrayed in a way that society wants to accept me, which is a bullshit society because society likes real. You know what I mean? So why should I, put on this prim and proper like all the other girls, like particularly the British girls? They're all so prim and proper, and they're all, I don't know, maybe that's just how British girls are. Maybe they're just proper. Like,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, they've all got
pop-
beards and all.
I don't know, but I just feel like it's all so clinic, you know, like institutionalized and so the same. It's all the same. They all say the same things, you know, they're all the same. Like it's just, you know, it's not like that in America. The girls in America are pretty wild. Like
They're not
you
they're
know?
not like Belfast either. Shout out Belfast girls.
Yeah,
Like Belfast girls are
girls
good
is
crack.
different.
So,
But then,
it's just the English then.
yeah, they've
Pretty
all
much.
beards and mustaches and all. Yeah. But,
we're burning bridges with English female fighters coming on this
Yeah.
now.
No.
No,
And
Well done, Coco.
no, you know
Thanks,
what?
Simon.
You know, everyone's gonna do it their way, and if they,
Yeah.
you know what, like if that works for them, it works for them. But for me, for a person that doesn't have a promoter, legit, you know who my promoters are? Me and my fans. Then I'm gonna use everything that I have. I'm not gonna hide who I am. I'm gonna use my banter and that. I'm gonna use my looks. I'm gonna use my intelligence. I'm gonna use what skills that I have as well, because you know you need to get noticed. It's such a competitive industry, boxing in general. You know, women competing with men as well. That you need to stand out a little bit. You know, and luckily for me, I actually just do anyways. Like that's just how I am. I've been brought up to be very. You know, my parents have always said to be yourself. You know, don't let anyone tell you who to be and how to be. So I've just always been like that. Just so happens that it works well. Don't get me wrong. Some girls just aren't like, you know, some people, men as well. They're shy. They're not naturally chatty. They're not naturally on social media. They're not naturally like out there and want to put themselves out there. So they're coming to a sport, which is where you need to, it's a business, it's your business, where like any business, you need to promote it as much as you can. Like if you open a shop or a company, you're going to promote it somehow. You know, you're going to smash it on social media. You're going to smash it in the yellow pages. No, I don't know. But, you know, like in like books, that whatever you do when you're in a business, you know, you find whatever niche you're going for and you attack that niche because that's what you want. That's how you grow a business, you know, and it's the same thing. And so some people it's harder than others because, yeah, they're not natural at it. But you got to think, how bad do you want it?
yeah.
If you're not natural at it, fucking learn to be, because you know if you want to get noticed, you know, like I don't know how many Australian female fighters you know over the last 20 years, but you know, if I wanted to be stuck like the girls back in Oz where no one really knows, then I would just be doing nothing. You know what I mean? But I had to take initiative and think, well, I'm gonna wait around for the opportunity to come to me. I'm gonna go show people the blonde bomber, you know, and hopefully that opens doors, which it has.
Yes, Ebanie. You love to
Sorry,
say you can.
I told you I could fucking talk. I talk. Just fucking interrupt me. Just go
You would fit right in Ireland. Trust me.
Yeah.
Fuck,
We can all-
no one will be talking. We'll all just be yelling over each other. Be like, shh, shh. Okay, when I'm done, I'll nod. Okay, your turn. Pass the parcel.
Ebony, I was just about to ask, how do you balance being like, because I can't imagine any of my teachers boxing, any of my female teachers boxing. I just can't imagine it. How do you balance that? Like, so every day, like, what's your routine on a daily basis? Because surely if you're going to school in Australia from 9 to 3 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
hard to
So
fit training in.
yeah, definitely. So I get up at like 4:30 in the morning and I drive like nearly an hour to training in the morning, and I train my strength and conditioning in the morning, or I run, whatever the day is. Then from there I'll have a shower and then I'll drive another 45 minutes to school, and then I work all day. Then straight after school at peak hour traffic, I drive an hour and a half to the gym and I train, and then I go home. And when I get home, obviously, you know, I do my meal preps and my food and then my school work, and then I do it again and repeat. But I am also at a very good school. It's actually a sports selective school, so they really understand how sport works. A lot of our kids are representative athletes, which travel a lot, and they need to change their times and start late and early for the certain things. So I do have did when I was, especially when I was working like more full time, like now this year, because I knew all these opportunities, I said to the school that I'm going to go on a casual basis. But say last year, it was like, okay, Mondays and Tuesdays or whatever, I got to start at this time, and Thursday and Friday I got to finish at this time. So it gives me that little bit of leeway, and they're really understanding of it. So I was really lucky with that. But it is very exhausting. It's very exhausting. But I'm not one to make excuses. That's it. It's what I got to do. I got to make money, and I want to box. So unfortunately, I just had to suck it up and just grind and do it. You know. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like when I my last fight prep in the UK, for the ball fight that fell through, I was able to get leave of school for, I think I got leave. Yeah, I did. I got leave of school for a couple of weeks for camp. And then when I came back from overseas and doing the quarantine and everything, it was school holidays. And I was training and resting, and it was fucking great. Like, I'd get up and I'd train and I'd have a sleep and a rest, and, you know, and it was just so nice. And then when I had this last fight that I just had, I had to go back to school, you know, because school started again. So going back to school, then I had to get back into that routine of getting up at 5, probably not getting bed till 12 after I'd done everything, you know, and it was tough. I'll tell you what, it was really, really tough. But yeah, I had to talk to the school, and I just said, I think this is what we're going to have to do, because for me, boxing comes first. And I'm at a point where it means too much to me, and that I need to make that sacrifice. And it means that I'm not getting money. I don't get paid. I don't get paid if I don't work. I'm not getting paid. You know what I mean? Because I'm not on a salary. I'm on a casual. I get paid for the days I go in. And guess what? I haven't taught for like 6 weeks. You know, so I'm blessed that I have some really good sponsors as well. So shout out to my sponsors: Richards Boxing, Epic Air, Bold Out, and Been Everywhere. These guys help support me as well. But it's still not. It's really still not enough to make a living of it.
It seems as well, it's such a weird like dynamic, because they're polar opposites, sort of. Like teaching Mavs, and then like the excitement, the high you must get off fight night and doing these media interviews and stuff. Like, how is that not weird for you? Just sort of like,
I love teaching. I love teaching. You know what? And because the way I'm in my classroom with my kids, it's like they always say to me, Miss, is this another inspiration speech? Is this another? I go, yes, it is. Sit down and be quiet and listen to me, because it's really important, because you need to know this in life, because I really believe in teaching the kids life skills, as in pushing and trying and not giving up. Like, if you were to see my classroom rules, you know, some of the rules in my classroom, you got the standard ones, like put your hand up and don't be a little twat, but not really. But you know what I mean? I just like, I have you know, don't give up. You know, it's a rule. They're not allowed to say, I can't, I'm done, it's too hard. They're not allowed to say it. If they say it, they come back and they write lines at lunch. I'm smart, I'm good, it's not too hard, I can do it, I believe in myself. And they got a lot, and they hate it because they think it's lame. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I don't want to do it. So they're always positive self-talking in my classroom. Like, if a kid sits there, and they'll dob each other in. If a kid's like, no, I can't do this, it's too hard. They'll be like, Miss, so-and-so said that it's too hard, or he's saying that he's dumb, or you're not allowed to say that. And I'm like, what are you know, they're banned words. They're not allowed in my classroom. And I say, you know, and under my rules, it's, you know, believe in yourself, because I believe in you, because I believe whoever you are, no matter what you want to do, if you really want to do it and you try, you can make it happen. All you got to do is really believe and try, you know. And these kids need to learn that you need to try in life, and you got to do things that you don't want to do. They're like, why do I have to do this, Miss? And I'm like, because in life, you're going to have to do things you don't want to do to become successful. So you got to learn to just push through it and just do it because you don't want to do it. It's just because you have to do it. You know what I mean?
So you're motivating me here as well, Ebanie.
Yeah. No, but seriously, like, that's, and the kids in my kids, like my students, I work a lot with the lower grades, because I do have that knack with the lower level kind of maths, and trying to really bring them up to believe in themselves, because a lot of the times they've given up at that point, you know what I mean? And it's never too late. And I just want them to believe that, hey, look, you know what, look at this. If we just set goals for each, like, kid is obviously a little bit different, and I give them little goals, like, okay, I need you to do this and this and this. And then when they get it, man, like, and that's what I love about maths, is that once they get it, they feel so fucking smart. They're like, fuck, I'm smart. You know what I mean? Like, they do. Like, when you get something English or PE or history, you're not like thinking you're mad smart. Like, you're just like, yeah, cool. You know, but in maths, when you get something in maths, like, and it feels good because it's an instant satisfaction, rewarding that you got the answer right, and you want to keep doing it. And that's what I find with my students, is that when they get it right, like, it feels so good to be successful because you tried and you didn't give up. You know, and it's like that with life, like that in boxing. It's the same thing. You know, like, I fought with a broken ankle. I snapped my ankle in the first 10 seconds of a fight in my pro debut. And I fought for 3 rounds with a snapped ankle. I had 2 surgeries, 8 months of recovery, but I didn't quit, because I'm like, no, we've got to push through this, because it's going to be worth it. And it was.
How tough was that, though, fighting with a broken ankle for that? How many rounds was that fight?
3 rounds.
And did it go the distance?
Yeah, it went a distance, and it was I did it in the first round.
Oh.
I did it in the first 10 seconds. The video is on my Instagram. You can see it. You'll see a little, like, how my ankle snapped back. But I got up and I thought, fuck, you're dead now. Like, that was it. Like, and then when I went to take a step, I was like, oh shit. And I was like, that's all right. I was like, that's all right. Just keep punching. And that's what I did. Like, I just went nuts on her, but I had no power through my back leg at all. It was dragging along. Then when I went and sat down in the corner, my coach, I said, before I even sat down, I said, I think I broke my ankle. And my coach was like, what do you want to do? And I go, I want to fucking beat her up, you know, like, and that's what I did, you know. It should have been stopped. There was a point where I hit her with a big overhand right. She went on the ropes, hands up like this. And the ref's in Australia, man. And then I hope he's listening to this. He went up to him and he goes, time out to me. And then he goes to her, are you all right? Does she fucking look all right? What the fuck? And then he let the fight go on. I mean, she was probably hating it anyways because she was getting battered. But look, you know, I mean, I came out with victory. I had 8 months off, a lot of rehab, and then started again.
You were saying,
So
like, you're saying there. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. You were saying there, like there was yet 8 months off after this, but like this fight, like you fought Carol earlier, like, you know, really recently, and then you're jumping in now to like the biggest fight of your career so far. Is that, I was going to say, is that a good thing?
So good, so good, man. If I could fight every week, every weekend, every couple of weeks, every once a month, I'd do it. You know what I mean? I just love to fight, like, and I feel like 4 weeks is perfect. If it was 2 weeks, no. If it was 6 weeks, it might be dragging my body out a little bit for too long a camp. But 4 weeks is just perfect. You know, I've got nothing but positive going into this. And I don't, you know, whatever there could be negatives, I push it aside because I don't make excuses. And I just feel like it's all happening how it's meant to be. And, you know, God willing, my hand is raised and I become a world champion on Saturday. And that's what's meant to happen. If it doesn't, then that's not meant to happen either. You know what I mean? But I'm in there to win it, and I just take anything, any opportunity that I can get.
without giving away your game plan, Ebanie, what's your prediction for Saturday then? What do you see happening?
Just go ask this. I see that. Look, if I don't stop her early, which I think is very likely, but if I don't, then I think her face is going to look like a dropped meat pie. Like, I mean, you should have seen Carol Earl, my last fight 4 weeks ago. Man, like, that girl is tough. Like, you don't understand. Like, that girl is so tough. Like, she's had 45 Muay Thai kickboxing fights. She's used to being shin kicked, kneed, and elbowed to the head. And her face after it was regret. Like, I mean, and I'm not being a fucking hard cunt. I'm just seriously, like, her face, you know what I mean? Like, because I punch very hard, and I have so much confidence in my boxing ability and also my power that you know, like, if you're lasting those rounds with me, you're not gonna look the same.
Does it make it better that there's a wee bit of needle, like a bit of needle between you and Shannon?
A little bit, but it doesn't bother me too much, because I'm just, you know, I focus on myself and stuff like that. But I think it's good for the fans. I think it makes it a bit more exciting, but I don't get really emotional. I learned one time in the amateurs, I had an amateur fight, and there was a bit of emotion connected to it, and the performance wasn't the best performance. And I learned from then that you can't be emotionally involved in fights. And I'm pretty chilled and laid back anyways. I just like to have a laugh and a banter. So it's not really, you know, an issue for me. But when I win, I think it will make a lot of people happy, including myself.
Ebanie, obviously you're very confident this weekend. You know, you think you're going to do the business on Saturday night. When you do become a world champion, then what's next for you? Is there a couple of matchroom shows maybe? Will you be back to Australia?
Signed by Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, look, you know what? I would like to work with Eddie Hearn continuously. But yeah, I think the next fight's probably the Rachel Ball fight. I just feel like that's a fight that needs to happen. It was the original fight. That was the original world title, me versus her in November. And then obviously I got injured, and then her versus Courtenay, and now she's out. So I just feel like Rachel deserves that shot. She's a good friend of mine as well, and I feel like she beat Shannon. So me beating Shannon's just like, okay, well, we both beat Shannon. So, you know, now we need to see who's better out of me and her. That's what I like to do. I feel like once I beat both of them, then I'll feel like, okay, all right, you know, now I'm the woman, you know. But yeah, I'm not really looking past Shannon, of course, as I couldn't look past Carol, even though I knew I had Shannon on the after, like, you know, like I literally got told like a couple of weeks before that fight that I'm going to be fighting, as long as I get through the fight, that I'll be fighting Shannon. But I'm pretty good at staying focused, as much as it doesn't look like it. Maybe on social media I get a bit of slack for it. What you see is what I want you to see. You know what I mean? And what it goes on behind closed doors is very professional. Like I said, the matchroom guy here was like, I've been in that many boxers' rooms, and I've never seen a boxer so organized and so on top of things. And I've been into a lot of boxers' hotel rooms, and he goes, "You're just on top of it." I'm like, "Mate, I'm here to fucking take a belt. Like, I'm not leaving no stone unturned." You know what I mean? If I have to spend money, I have to do whatever I have to do for me to have the best possible opportunity to winning, which includes fueling my body with the right foods, then I'm going to do that, you know?
You're speaking about how like mentally strong you are as well. Like there'll be no fans at this on Saturday, so do you think that'll play more of an impact on Shannon, or because obviously Shannon's fought without no fans before, but how do you think that'll be with you because you fought with fans?
I mean, she won't get booed, so that'll probably help. But I mean, I think it's not too, I don't think it'll be a problem. I think everything will be a bit of an advantage to me, because I'm that kind of fighter that I love to entertain and I like a fight, and having like the crowds there like screaming, it might get me into a fight that I might not need to get into, you know, because I do like to brawl, and I like to you know, fight. So I think if anything, it's gonna work in my advantage a little bit by having having my corner really clear and not having all that hype of the crowds, to be able to just get in there and box smart and do the right things and not get carried away with the crowd, you know, and stay more disciplined. So I think that's what I think. I think it would be, it's not too much of an issue.
Have you thought about how you're going? Oh, sorry. Have you thought about how you're going to celebrate if you win? When you win?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really drink. I haven't had a drink for like forever, but I think I'm gonna definitely need to have a drink. I'll probably be like drunk of one like drink, and then I'll be like, well, like walking around my belt and shit. Like, no, I don't know.
Well, Australia,
you know what,
Australia, everything's open, isn't it?
Yeah, Australia's normal. Like, it's totally normal. So, yeah. Look, I plan probably, to be honest, my plan is to stay here in the UK for a little bit afterwards. As I do want to visit the UK, maybe also come up to Ireland, you know, and see while I'm here, you know. I think that I would like to have a fast turnaround for a fight. And if that's the case, then I'll either stay here or go back to Philadelphia, where I've been doing my last camp, because going back to Australia, it's really just a pain. Like, it's literally like, I have to go there. It's a long flight. Then I have to go there. I have to do quarantine for 2 weeks, and I have to pay $3,000 out of my own pocket to sit in a hotel room for 2 weeks.
Sell them airplane socks.
Sorry?
Sell them airplane socks.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That'll pay for it. Ebony, just obviously we know you're very busy, but before we let you go and stuff, you're quite close with Conor Benn, aren't you? And his dad Nigel, like you live near them in Australia or something.
Yeah, I mean, not Nigel so much. Not Conor so much, because obviously he's been here. I haven't talked to Conor much, just over the last few years, because he's busy doing his thing but yeah, I literally do live around the corner from Nigel Benn. I'm very close with his sister, Conor's twin sister, India Benn. She's a beautiful mate. She's like an angel. This girl is like, the whole family is so beautiful. They're such amazing people. They're so humble and down to earth, and you know, they really deserve everything. They're just, yeah. I mean, I can't talk more highly of the Benns. Nigel's great. He's helped me. He's held pads for me before. Tells me I hit like a man. He's literally was like shocked when he held pads for me. So I mean, that gives me confidence. He told me like 2 years ago, you know, that I could be a world champion. So I've held on to that. But 2 years ago, he was like, "Wow, you're so strong." He goes, "You got so much power." He goes, "You could be a world champion, because you just need a little bit more finesse." And I tell you what, I've got that finesse. Nigel, he's going to be watching, and yeah, he'll see it. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that's high praise coming from Nigel Benn. Like, he's an absolute legend over here. Like, I'm sure he is over there too, but like over here, like, he's an absolute
Nigel
legend
and Conor.
in the game. Yeah. Conor as well. Conor's soon becoming, you know.
Yeah, you know what, Conor, you know, like he grafts, and he does. Like I remember him here in Australia training. How he was hurting grown ass men at like 17. You know what I mean? I've been to his amateur fights. Like, in the gym, I've seen him training in the gym, and even at a young age, like he went off the rails a little bit, but even like he had it in him. He always did, and he always wanted to work hard and be successful. And him going to the UK and Nigel not stepping on his toes and babying him and being obsessed with having to be in the spotlight as well. Definitely helped Conor to become his own person and who he is. And it's been great to watch him transform, you know what I mean? And make his own name, which is definitely happening. I love watching Conor fight. He's a very exciting fighter, and the Benns are all exciting. So I'm super pumped to see this fight this weekend and to be able to share the night with someone like Conor.
You've already
100%.
created history already, Ebanie, this week, because you're the first female to appear on Brawl Boxing. So we appreciate you coming on.
That's because I'm fucking cool, right?
Cool as fuck, Ebanie.
Look, let's just put it out there, guys. I'm not gonna shag you.
That's Dan Reed's. Dan Reed's hopes and dreams ruined.
Yeah, I know. Just the comments, but yeah, I do appreciate it. I really do, and I've had a great time chatting, and you guys are awesome. And I listen to your podcast. It's pretty epic, and I'm excited to be on it.
Thank you so
Thanks
much,
very much
Ebanie.
for coming on, Ebanie. We'll get you on again once you win the belt this weekend, and then we'll have you on in a couple of months' time before your next fight with Rachel Ball.
Yeah, awesome. I look forward to it. And I'll try and keep the chat down a little bit. You just let me go.
Never change, Ebanie. Never
I
change.
hope you guys go out now and do some fucking push-ups or go chase your dreams, because you
Absolutely.
can. Because you can. You just gotta do it.
Before you go, so see once you win, right? And they've got the microphone up to you, Sky, afterwards. We need a Brawl Boxing plug in there. We need, whenever you're thanking all your sponsors, you need to thank Brawl Boxing as well.
Okay, I'll do my very best. I did just an interview just before, and I was like, someone asked me why do you think you're so popular and the British fans or whatever have taken to you? And I'm like, I think it's because I keep it real and I'm not a bell end. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
100%.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, and I think everyone that was in the conference call was like,
Gotta love it.
Ebanie, yeah, never change.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is
Thanks so
probably one
much
of
for
the
coming on.
busiest
Really
weeks.
appreciate it.
Yeah, one of the busiest weeks of your life, and you came on.
yeah, all
in
good,
5 weeks,
guys.
so-
I do appreciate it.
Thanks
Take
so
care,
much,
and
Ebanie.
chat soon when I got a belt.
Yes, good luck
Definitely.
Saturday.
Good luck
Saturday.
Saturday,
Guys.
Ebanie. Good luck.
Bye.
Well, guys, that's it for our episode with Ebanie Bridges. We hope you enjoyed. Before we go, we'd just like to shout out our American sponsors, DraftKings and Manscaped. If you use our discount code BrawlBoxing, you'll get 20% off Manscaped and free shipping, so get all over that. Join us next week again when we'll be back with a very special guest. Thanks.
My dad likes to call that life, but I'd like to call that white girl problems. Met her back in autumn. Every gift I try to get her, she already got them. Messing with the TA, wonder what she taught him. Work her way down, literally to the bottom. Where are all my best friends? How can I ignore them? Never gonna text them, I am too important. Look at what my dad bought, yeah, it was imported. He took a second loan, cause our family can't afford it. Nice guy, bound to finish last if it's a sport. Call her Skilo cause she crazy and her arms are kinda short. Got a traffic ticket once, but she didn't go to court. And she interrupts my sessions every time that I record. So I tell her I got so much shit up on my plate, it's a buffet.